do I even begin with this shit show?
I'm a god.
And even I'm at a loss for words to explain how unready this patch was when it released. But we'll start with some of the promises made by the creator of this dysfunctional world. I am, of course, referring to you, Henrik. You promised this new school of Magicka would be easily accessible to even the lowliest of your children. And if by easy you meant riding to all corners of the world in search of the simplest of spells, like what an utter disrespect of the player's fucking time. Or perhaps you were referring to Haven. Yes, you could actually begin learning these new powers on the starter island. I'm being totally serious. The fucking noob island for a time was the only place channeling this magic actually worked, but the rest of you were left to ride for hours, only to find that the items needed to gain this new knowledge lay broken at your feet. Unfortunately, this was merely the beginning of the troubles that awaited the followers of this mad god. Soon the world itself would start to come apart at the seams. There was one who claimed it was a hater of his that had brought upon this fate. This was clearly just a ploy, a way to gain the attention of fools, and nothing more. Yet others knew the truth. The architects of this world, or should I say architect, a living god named Farmer Joe, was responsible. This misguided entity then proceeded to try and hotfix the issue, causing a total server failure just before the week's end. And with that, you were told the server would be offline, possibly for days. This message was then delivered by a mere ash slave riddled with blight, a creature called Robmo, who then assured you that there would be no rollback. What a grand and intoxicating innocence. It was only when mass reports of lost items in keeps and houses began to overwhelm the minions, tasked with maintaining some semblance of functionality in this corrupted plane, that any action was taken. And for those of you who had made progress only to see it vanish like skooma smoke into the air, you have my sympathy. The aftermath of this incident has cast doubt on future plans to expand this realm, as its god dreams of bringing his children so much more, but clearly lacks powers sufficient to do so, as all false dreamers do. I mean, you should hear some of the shit this guy says every week to the dick riders on Twitch. And they eat that shit up like scrambled kuma eggs week after week. Well, I've gone on long enough. I must return to the Red Mountain and to the heart. But before I depart, let me leave you with this thought. Just imagine paying a monthly subscription for this level of incompetency. As if that's never going to happen. Well, maybe just one goddamn account, but that depends on how TC goes.